Hitmen that are still operating today. The world of contract killing is not just the stuff of movies and TV shows. It is a frightening reality for some, where hitmen operate in a highly secretive and exclusive world that is closed off to most people. Hitmen are still in business despite the ostensible presence of law and order. These contract murderers can be found all throughout the world, and they keep their operations secret to avoid detection by the police. Welcome to another video of the Crime Files. In this video, we'll take a look at the alarming truth about hitmen and explore some of the stories of those who still operate today. Discover the truth behind the work of contract killers that is often shrouded in secrecy and mystery. It may sound like a plot from a Hollywood film that someone would be paid to assassinate someone else, but the reality is that there are still lots of hitmen out there who murder for money. We'll be taking a close look at this invisible world in this video, and learning the unsettling truths that are shrouded in secrecy. Even now, hitmen are still in business despite the alleged law and order. These contract murderers may be found all throughout the world, and they keep their operations hidden from the authorities so they can avoid detection. Although the period of prominent gangsters like Meyer Lansky and Sammy the Bull, who ruled for several decades, is long behind us, hitmen are still widely used in the realm of organized crime. Hitmen today are more sophisticated. They no longer just physically harm their targets. Hitmen have occasionally pretended to be delivery people, lurked in cars or parking lots, and waited for their targets to come. While hitmen work in a variety of ways, some are independent contractors, some are employed by organized crime organizations, all of them share the need to stay untraceable. They attack in many ways, including stabbings, bombings, poisoning, and shootings. Frequently, they blend in and go unnoticed. Unfortunately, hitmen are still used today despite numerous efforts to stop them. Recent occurrences demonstrate that hitmen are still active around the world today, which causes great anxiety amongst the authorities. Wait a moment. Just check if someone is standing behind you. I could have sworn I've seen a shadow. For your own safety, just tap that subscribe button. You never know when somebody could be just right behind you. Don't worry, I'm just kidding. Given the secrecy of their employment, it is nearly impossible to ascertain the exact number of hitmen employed today. The murderers for hire trade is rife around the world, and in some, like India, killings are still frequently used to settle disputes. While some hitmen work individually, others are part of murder for hire squads run by organized crime organizations. People may be persuaded to engage in such behaviors by the money and power involved with the hitman industry. Others do it for the rush it gives them, while some do it for personal benefits. But in truth, both the victim and the offender lose in this situation. The dark web is one approach that hitmen employ frequently today. On these platforms, they may simply locate new customers who need their services. Payment is done through cryptocurrencies or other untraceable methods after the agreement has been reached. Another method used by hitmen is to blend in with society and maintain a low profile until their customers give them orders. To enter the target's home or workplace and then carry out the assassination, they can pretend to be delivery people or repairmen. Occasionally, hitmen collaborate with other criminals, such as drug dealers or gang members, who provide security and aid in hiding evidence once the deed is done. One of the most chilling aspects of hitmen is that they can be anyone: your neighbor, a co-worker, or even someone you meet in a bar. It's particularly tough for regular people to recognize them as a threat because they frequently come off as a kind and innocent person. Since most hitmen work in secrecy, it might be challenging to find them and put a hold to their actions. To catch them, investigators frequently rely on insider or whistleblower information. Finding a hitman, even with inside knowledge, is a difficult task. One of the most infamous hitmen in history is Richard Kuklinski, also known as the Iceman. Kuklinski was infamous for his violent tactics and is thought to have killed around 200 individuals. He is notorious for using knives, silenced weapons, and even cyanide to commit his murders. Thankfully, he was finally apprehended and given a life sentence in 1988. The issue of hitmen still exists today, despite the efforts of law enforcement agencies all around the globe. Hitmen will continue to be employed as long as there is greed and thirst for power. Because of this, it is crucial to be on guard and cognizant of the likelihood that you might run into one in your daily life. In most cases, hitmen are employed for financial gain. Some hitmen can easily earn over $100,000 a year, with an average hit costing roughly $10,000. Since hitmen frequently come from impoverished homes, this profession may seem like a chance for them to escape their challenging circumstances. It is much more alluring given the possibility of not being discovered and getting away with the murder. Advances in technology have helped authorities catch a number of hitmen. Nevertheless, there are still some regions that present serious difficulties. Hitmen now find it more difficult to flee unnoticed thanks to surveillance cameras and electronic tracking devices like GPS. On the other hand, clients and hitmen are now able to communicate far more covertly thanks to the development of encrypted programs and the internet. Now let's see some of the notorious hitmen that have become known to the wider world. Joseph Charles Bonanno Jr. He is the son of notorious American mafia boss Joseph Bonanno. He was employed as a hitman by the mafia and has been connected to numerous deaths. Although he has not been found guilty of any murder-related charges, he is well known to be connected to criminal activity. One of the more recent hitmen still operating today is Liu Yongbiao. In China, Yongbiao was a well-known author, but between 1999 and 2005, he was accused of committing 2 murders with the assistance of his wife. He wasn't actually discovered and given the death penalty until 2017. In New Jersey, a man paid $20,000 in Bitcoin and failed the attempt to kill a 14-year-old girl related to the child pornography case. Technology has made it even simpler for hitmen to interact with their clients, from disposable phones to encrypted chats. They employ a variety of strategies to evade capture, including altering their appearance to confuse investigators, evacuating the scene quickly after carrying out the killing, or simply leaving no trace of themselves. As hitmen work with organized crime syndicates, the scenarios get much riskier. These businesses assist the hitmen with logistics, such as equipment and transportation, to make their jobs that much more simple. The partnership with organized criminal syndicates gave rise to the legendary hired guns, who are famed for their cool, calculated accuracy and have become experts in carrying out hits. It is critical to realize that participating in the hitman industry carries with it serious psychological risks in addition to the possibility of being apprehended and receiving a prison sentence. Murderers motivated by self-interest are more prone to experience reality distortion and moral collapse. However, those who do it for the excitement of it run the risk of becoming dependent on the strength and rush it provides, or in other words, becoming addicted. In both situations, they end up losing their humanity and might spend the rest of their lives dealing with their shame and trauma. One must select a moral route in order to live a satisfying life, because money and power are not worth such a high price, which is crucial to comprehend. The activities of hitmen continue to be widespread despite the greatest efforts of law enforcement authorities around the globe to locate and capture them. The causes of this are numerous and intricately layered. While some operate with impunity because they have dirt on influential people, others uphold a code of silence that makes them nearly impossible to catch. Most people consider the world of contract killing to be extremely obscure and unreachable, but it still affects some people on a daily basis. Even while the information in this video is by no means exhaustive, it does serve as a sobering reminder of the tragic truth of the hitman business, which is still in existence today. Even if one achieves their financial goals, the emotional toll it takes on their conscience and the resulting legal repercussions will always find them. In addition to taking someone's life, hitmen are also accountable for the victim's loved one's emotional suffering. This vicious cycle only produces suffering, loss, and guilt. The goals and technologies behind their trade also develop along with society. Let's hope law enforcement keeps making strides in their fight against hitmen and other threats to our society. This world is still tremendously opaque even in the age of informational abundance. You've only seen a small portion of the terrifying reality behind the perilous and mysterious world of contract killing in this video. It doesn't cover all that happens behind the scenes, but it seeks to bring attention to the problem and let viewers know it still exists. It is crucial to understand that there are still hitmen in the world today, which is a troubling idea we must be constantly aware of and watchful of. Tell us, are you still eager to find the criminal history of the world and the depth of cruelty committed by those who made it? Thanks for watching the video and subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos in the future. Goodbye.